Welcome, everyone, to this next presentation, as Drak and Shadow Productions proudly present to you a game by Naughty Dog. That Naughty Dog. Welcome, everybody, to this Let's Play of Jak 2. We have to have our buddy Daxter light up the logo. So welcome, everybody. We're back into Jak and Daxter. It's obviously me and the Shadow Blazer, and we're being joined by somebody else as well.
This is Andrea.
So at this point, she did not join us for the Precursor Legacy, but she has watched it and she liked Jak and Daxter, the first one, so she is joining us for the second one. And this time around, people might see I already have a game file. I dry ran this thing, but we're going to do this fresh. And obviously, we can't start off this game proper without Samos.
For every age, there is a time of trial. The rocks faced such a fire before they were the strength beneath our feet. The plants braved vast winds before their roots could give us life. As a sage of considerable years, I have known only one such great ordeal. Yet the hero it created was a champion for all time. Today's the big day, Jak. I hope you are prepared for whatever happens.
I think I figured out most of this machine. It interacts somehow with that large precursor ring. I just hope he didn't break anything moving it here to
Just
the
quick
lab.
information, that's the gate that if you get 100 power cells, it opens.
Daxter!
So that's where the secret ending comes into
Though
play.
the precursors vanished long ago, the artifacts they left behind can still do great harm.
Or great good, if you figure out how to use them.
I've had some experience with such things. I know you can make it work.
Of course, because he's like the master of light eco.
Looks like Jak still got the mojo.
Interesting. It appears to be reading out some preset coordinates.
Uh-oh, we broke it. We didn't do it. Oh no, what's going on? Oh no!
Look at that.
Finally, the last rift gate has been opened.
Uh-oh. That's a dark and menacing voice.
What are those things?
So this is how it happened.
You cannot hide from me, boy.
Do something, Jak!
What's this do? Or that? How about this one? Everybody press all the buttons.
Keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times.
What was that thing?
Hang on, everyone!
Kind of feels like a Back to the Future moment.
I want all this thing.
You have no idea how right you are.
Find yourself, Jak!
Well, this is a sudden change of scenery. Very futuristic. It's almost like we did go through time.
Okay. I swear, that's the last time I ever touch any stupid precursor crap.
There he is. Move in. Step away from the animal.
Dang you, Daxter!
The Baron wants him.
We've been waiting for you.
How could you have been waiting?
Don't worry, Jak. I'll save you before you know it.
2 years later?
Takes
Daxter! Your dang ADD!
Dark eco injection cycle complete. Bio readings nominal and unchanged.
Well, nothing. I was informed that this one might be different.
He is surprisingly resistant to your experiments, Baron Praxis. I fear the Dark Warrior program has failed.
You should at least be dead with all the dark eco I've pumped into you.
What now? Metalhead armies are pressing their attacks. Without a new weapon, my men cannot hold them off forever.
I will not be remembered as the man who lost this city to those vile creatures. Move forward with the final plan and finish off this thing tonight.
As you wish. I'll be back later.
So they've been pumping Jak full of dark eco. I wonder if that's going to have harmful side
Ding, ding,
effects.
Third floor. Body chains, roach food, torture devices. Hey, buddy, you seen any heroes around here? Whoa! What'd they do to you? Jack, it's me, Daxter! That's a fine hello. I've been crawling around in this place, risking my tail, literally, to save you. I've been looking for you for 2 years! Say something! Just this once!
Oh no! The silent protagonist! He talks!
Right now, we gotta get you out of here. Just let me figure out how to open the security locks for the chair so I can... Or, you can do it.
And is going through some level of dark ego puberty.
Easy, buddy. It's your old pal Daxter, remember?
Daxter?
What the heck was that? Sheesh! Remind me not to piss you off. Come on, tall, dark, and gruesome. We're out of here. I brought you some new threads. Put them on.
Alright, so you guys have seen one of the biggest changes that was implemented into Jak 2. Jak now talks. He's no longer a silent protagonist. And also, one of the bigger mechanics of this game, Dark Jak, has been implemented.
Okay. So
now we actually can absorb Dark Eco in small portions and eventually become Dark Jak, which is kind of a super-powered mode. It's him hulking out, basically. Now, where I'm kind of on the fence on Jak talking, I actually would have kind of preferred him to remain a silent protagonist. He did not. So I'm on the fence with Jak, or Jak talking. He's, especially in this game where he's very brooding. He's very, very Christian Bale. Where's Rachel? And I'm trying to get that precursor orb, but I might not be able to get it this moment. That's okay. But as people can kind of see, the game does play very similar to the way it did before. So it is a platformer still.
Please tell me you remember how to
The only difference is where one was a collectathon, this is not. This is a very mission-based game.
Ooh, that's a high ledge. Try jumping once, then jump again while in the
Yes,
air.
Daxter, we get it. We're in the tutorial level. One other interesting fact to note is that, remember, Daxter left for like 2 years. There actually is a PSP game, literally just titled Daxter, that covers the 2 years.
Wow.
And you play as just Daxter, and your ending point is getting to Jak and releasing him. So I thought that was a nice little implementation when the PSP was first coming out. To just let Daxter be on his own for that one. And for anybody who's like sitting there going, well, what could they do possibly with Daxter? It's a spoof game. You know, they spoof The Matrix, they spoof a couple other things, but it's, you know, here's the thing. Daxter's comic relief. He doesn't really have a whole lot to him aside from that.
Good job! The crate had a health pack inside. Pick it up. You'll want to keep healthy, Jak, or who'll do the fighting?
Yes, and obviously the health is green eco, but it's health pack now.
You are under arrest.
And obviously we're in this futuristic world. This is such a change from what we were doing before.
You can get a longer jump by rolling into
So we now have a new world to explore and a bunch of new stuff to take care of.
There he is! Open fire!
Oh jeez, dance! Dance, monkey, dance!
Prisoner sighted! We got him! Prisoner on level 2!
If you jump and dive, you'll crash down to the ground hard enough to break lots of things. Breaking stuff's fun, right?
Yes, Daxter. Breaking stuff is fun.
See that new Jak 7?
Until later in the game, and then it becomes a really annoying chore.
Seen anything? No. Taking heavy casualties!
Alright, so we're basically just trying to escape this facility before Jak becomes, well, recycled. Since he was part of the failed Dark Warrior program. People might notice that I'm not really trying to explain the story. It's hard to explain. Another kind of problem I have with this. I think overall this game is very good. It's just, it's bogged down in a lot of the problems.
Free, Jak! Thanks to me. Nice to breathe some fresh air, huh? We'll get that Baron Praxis guy.
And as you can also see, this is the other big change between this game and the other, where the other one was a Collectifest. This is more of a sandbox game.
Hello, strangers. My name is Core. May I help?
You look like a reasonably smart man. I want information. Where the hell am I?
Sorry. He's new to the whole conversation thing.
Well, my angry young friend, you are a guest of His Majesty, Baron Praxis, the ruler of glorious Haven City.
I was just a guest in the good Baron's prison.
Inside a cell or inside the city, walls surround us both. We are all his
That's deep,
prisoners.
dude.
Talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'd move on if I were you.
By order of His Eminence, the Grand Protector of Haven City, Baron Praxis, everyone in this section is hereby under arrest for suspicion of harboring underground fugitives. Surrender and die.
Excuse me, sir. Don't you mean surrender or die?
Not in this city. Protect us from these guards, and I'll introduce you to someone who can help.
Alright, so now we have our first mission. We gotta save the kid and the old man so that he can introduce to somebody who can help. And welcome everybody to Dark Jack. Early on, Dark Jack is not really a cool concept. It's when you get later abilities with him, he becomes really awesome.
That was cool. Do it again.
Something's happening to me. Something he did. I can't control it.
Very impressive.
You okay, Jack?
What you just did was very brave. This child is important.
This kid? He looks kind of scruffy.
You are in a restricted zone. Move along.
Thank you for your help, but I must get this boy to safety.
Hey! What about us?
There is an underground group waging war against Baron Praxis. Its leader, the Shadow, could use fighters like you. Go to the slums, find a dead-end alley near the city wall. Ask for Torn. He can help you.
So there's our next mission. We have to go look for the Resistance, because we're going to be a freedom fighter. This is starting to feel like Sonic Sat AM.
Yeah, definitely.
The city map is displayed in the lower right. Follow the icons on the map to reach important destinations.
So this is where it becomes a sandbox game, very similar to Grand Theft Auto, where we can take cars and we can get around the city and the map's huge. And the problem, though, is it's very easy to set off the guards. It's very easy to set them off and then your wanted level goes up and then it's just insane. So at this point, if people notice that I'm trying very hard to follow the rules of the road, it's because I don't want to deal with the hassle that comes with dealing with the guards.
Oops.
And here's the thing, if I wreck into a car, that raises suspicion. Everything that you possibly do that is not normal can raise suspicion. This is another thing that I didn't really like from Jak 2, is that they went to a more Grand Theft Auto-esque feel.
What happens if you cause trouble?
Then they start wanting to arrest you, and then the city is against you. The more guards you kill, the worse it gets. And thankfully we are to the alley we needed to go to.
We're looking for a guy named Torn. Core sent us. Are you Torn?
Maybe this guy's a new, like you used to be.
New faces make me nervous. Word is you're out to join the fight for the city. You know, picking the wrong side could be unhealthy.
We want to see the Shadow.
Not likely. If you want to join something, why don't you and your pet go join the circus? Unless you've got the fur for a really tough task. Steal the Baron's banner from the top of the ruined tower and bring it back to me. Then, maybe we'll talk.
Everybody meet Torn! Torn is the Christian Bale of this series, or of this game. As you can tell, he likes to speak in whispers and whispered voices. So, you know, where I was making the joke where Jak could be Christian Bale Batman, no, they didn't meet Torn yet. So now we have our next mission. We have to go take a banner down to show that we hate the Baron. Fight the power! Which means more driving. I will, in the future, cut off a lot of these driving sections, but I did want to show, basically, this is the gameplay of Jak 2. Because it is so GTA-ish.
I've got suspicious activity in the sector.
See, anything you do can possibly set them off, and I'm trying very hard, but at the same time, if I lower myself, that instantly will set them off.
Please advise. Suspect's description.
And here's the thing, too. They'll also say this stuff throughout the whole game. You know, you just kind of have to brush it off.
Sweeping for suspect.
Because it may mean they've spotted you, it may not. The way you know you're on the wanted level, they're shooting at you. Which they'll do a lot of. But we are actually at our destination, so let's go grab the banner. Now, people might also be asking, there are other mechanics implemented, we will be getting them later, but this is pretty much like the beginning, so this is Naughty Dog's way of getting you used to how the game used to work. Because it was a year or two after Jak and Daxter this came out. So here's another section of the city, the ruins. We'll be seeing a lot of these areas for the various missions. It's going to get interesting. Very, very interesting and painful. The other thing also I'm going to warn people, we might be doing a lot of magic cuts in these levels. Why? Big failure of this game was checkpoint design. Some of these levels have really bad checkpoint design. In fact, there may not even be checkpoints at all. And so I might be skipping just to get to the point where I was. To make this a little bit faster. For you guys. Because we love you. Right, Shadow?
Right.
We love the people of YouTube. Except apparently the Sonic 06 fans. We hate you. We hate you with a passion.
Aw, give them a break.
I try to, and then they sit there and say, well, you guys do nothing but hate on us. We're gonna dislike your videos. I guess that's your right. And right now, we're being handed very, very minor enemies, because we haven't gained a lot of the other weapons and things like that we're gonna get throughout this game. So with this, I think we're actually really close to the banner at this point. But this is just an exercise in platforming! It's almost like it's platforming, Alex.
It's platforming, right?
It is platforming. It's still platforming goodness from Naughty Dog. Yeah, as you can tell, Alex, this plays very much like the first game, originally. It's only later when they start adding in new mechanics to it. Victory music! Except we broke it. Yeah, Daxter deserved that.
How unfortunate.
Yeah, I guess you guys are in.
Proved the point, didn't it? You thought it was a bad thing. No! The more destruction you cause in this game, the more bad A you look. We're freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger right now. Alright, so the other thing also to get used to is, to the people who like the little victory theme that you got, no more. You don't get that anymore. Instead, we'll get cutscenes to push the story along, and for some reason, since we're infused with Dark Eco, water hurts us now.
And you died.
We became Sonic the Hedgehog. We can't stand water anymore.
Let's go back to the city.
I don't want to go back to the city, but I guess we got to. We gotta go accept more missions. So already with the way that this game has changed, how does this affect you guys' judgment of it? Is it a better game? Is it a better idea? Or does this already kind of make you wary about where this game's gonna go?
I gotta say, I'm already a little weary about where it's going because of how drastically it's changed. Especially
because of how what?
How drastically it's changed already. Yes. And this is just the first quarter.
This you're not the only one. This was one of the things that Naughty Dog got a lot of concern from.
We need to go back to the city, Jack.
It's like, ooh, Grand Theft Auto, that's what all the kids are playing, right?
Exactly, because Grand Theft Auto 3 had come out at this point, and it was very popular. You'll also see that this game also tries to implement other games that were popular at the time to bring in the young folk, as it were. to people who may not have picked up Jak and Daxter the Precursor Legacy. Well, now we have to accommodate these audiences. And where I will say Naughty Dog did implement them well, it makes you kind of scratch your head on why they did it. Because they had a good design with what they had.
The vehicle mechanics already make me think of Sonic 06, I gotta say.
Yes, a little bit. Now that kind of the Decepticon Jeep. Yes. Oh, just wait until we get some of the smaller vehicles, because then they move faster.
So now it's nuts and bolts, apparently.
And they blow up. True story, whenever I get a motorcycle-based mission, I cringe. Because A, you'll be able to get them done faster, but you'll also run the risk of getting blown up, and then you're screwed. Andrea, what are your thoughts on the game so far? Is it better or worse than Precursor Legacy?
Well, I think it's a little bit better. I mean, you get to try something, a whole new way of going it.
Alright. I just want to get the first impressions before we go deeper.
Woo! Being a big hero sure makes you thirsty.
That's kind of worth it.
The Baron turned off all water to the slums. He's willing to sacrifice innocent lives just to destroy the underground. I shouldn't be surprised. I've seen his evil before while serving in the Crimson Guard. That's why I quit.
You were a Crimson Guard? Well, that explains your charming sense of humor.
My friend in the Guard tells me the valve to turn the water back on is located outside the city, at the pumping station.
Outside the city? What about the security walls?
What about the metalheads? There ain't no petting zoo out there. Peeps be getting deep-sixed.
Find the large drain pipe in the north wall. It'll take you outside the city to the pumping station. Get to the main valve and open it. If you survive, the slums will be indebted to you. If not, maybe we'll have a touching moment of silence in your honor.
I'd like to give him a touching moment.
This is the other thing to get used to with Daxter. He starts going street cred on us.
I noticed the way they spelled crimson, because poor literacy is cool.
Poor literacy is cool. Yeah, it's the Crimson Guard, almost like Mortal Kombat! Well, you have to distinguish it, but now we kind of get a little bit into Torn's backstory, and he's a good guy. But as we can all tell, I'm kind of cringing a little bit because I'm on a motorcycle.
I've got suspicious
Motorcycles tend to blow up. Really bad. They can kill me.
So every car is a Pinto in this universe.
What was that?
Every car is a Pinto in this universe.
Pretty much.
You could just walk.
Or a pod racer. I mean, you saw the other design, right? Where it looks like a freaking pod racer. I think that was the other kind of design aesthetic there, was Episode 1 was out at that point, and so they also tried to implement that too.
This game's got to be a little newer than that.
It's newer than that, but at that point we hadn't had Episode 2. So...
Really? It's that early on? I had to figure this would be like mid-2000s.
Pretty much. I think it came out just before Episode 2 hit. So yeah, see, you can see like some cars look like freaking pod racers and get blown up. And that sets off my wanted level. Alright, it's time to turn on the water. But hey, compared to Sonic 06, at least this world looks like it's populated.
Yes,
looks like there are people in the city. Alright, and that is where we need to go. Because we need to go turn the water back on. Everybody needs to take a shower. Especially us. And now, people might also be wondering, there was an interesting creature mentioned by Daxter. They were the Metalheads. They're kind of the main enemy of this game. You'll be fighting a lot of Metalheads. And they give you a reward for killing them. The first time.
They look like watermelon.
They gotta do, and we will get other designs as well. The Metalheads are the main villains, and if you collect the gems in their skulls, you eventually will be able to cash them in for more dark Jack abilities.
You'll be able to buy stuff with them.
Alright, and that's going to be it for part 1. When we come back with part 2, we're going to solve the city's water problems, and then see who else we meet.